Good afternoon, everyone. Australia setting coldest temperature records ever, but it's not the coldest winter ever. Biggest snowstorm for 18 years, coldest morning in at least 60 years for many parts of the East Coast. Forecasters presenting 80% chance above normal of above average temperatures. Wherever you see that red, oh, this is extreme frost warnings and extreme frosty temperatures to last over the next 5 days. Taking a look at the Japan floods and how much of Japan was flooded with once in 1,000-year rains. Also, is anybody else getting these on your videos that's doing climate change analysis? Somehow these Wikipedias are now below my videos. And during these times of flux in our jet streams, seasonal patterns for growing our crops globally are going out of phase. You're going to be responsible for growing some of your own food in the future. TrueLeafMarket.com. Sprouts, microgreens, fruits, vegetables, and any plants that we can grow so you can eat across our planet. The Adapt 2030 link is below in the description box, as well as the links to tonight's stories and images. Look here at the floods that have rolled over southern Japan, once in a 1,000-year flood events. They received half a year's worth of rain in less than 10 days. There was even one segment there where they received 2 months worth of rain in 1 day. Now, as you can see, the enormity of the damage across southern Japan. Now the temperatures are reaching into the extreme summer temperatures, as you would expect, getting into August, that it'll be 90 degrees plus Fahrenheit. Incredibly muggy and humid, and it'll be like that for the next month. But you also have to consider this is happening over in India. So how are the crops surviving through this, do you think? Now there's extreme heat in Sweden as these jet streams are bending both directions. So they call it a Arctic vortex when it pulls out of the Arctic and pulls cold air super far south toward the equator. Why don't we just name it the equatorial vortex? Because it's doing the same things as our jet streams go out of flow, as our magnetosphere weakens due to our sun going into a 400-year lull in activity. Well, those jet streams are pushing north as well to extreme northerly positions on our planet. So you can expect polar vortex or equatorial vortex. Extreme temperatures is the name of the game going into the grand solar minimum. They'll try to have you believe it's all CO2. How are our crops coping with these once in a 1,000-year events? Now let's come into a shorter time frame here. Coldest morning in 60 years for parts of the East Coast. This is in Australia. In Australia, coldest winter temperatures ever recorded in many locations. This does not mean that it's the coldest ever winter in Australia, but these record-breaking lows smashing temperature records across the East Coast are something to take notice of. David Taylor had predicted Australia going into extreme cold this winter and next, possibly the coldest winter ever, as a combined as well as thousands of cold records to be snapped. Well, here we are, at least into the dozens already, plus Australia's super freeze 1.0 that sent frost 1,500 miles south of the equator. Additionally, the lowest temperatures during round 2.0 of freezing in Australia have sent the lowest temperatures since temperature stations were opened back in 1958. Now, when you're breaking records from 1958, and that's when the temperature started for the recording of information, you know, you wonder if he had had one of those out there and say, I don't know, 1901, what it would be reading. Continuing on, setting all-time cold records. -6. Remember, if you're in the States, 0 degrees Celsius is freezing. 0.8. So if we're going at 6 degrees Celsius, we're looking at around 20 Fahrenheit or so, plus or minus, then it's 5.8 Celsius below zero, New South Wales area. Also, Fire and Rescue reporting that through the night their hoses froze solid. Check out the ice inside their hose. Farm animals as well, not spared by the frost. And those are pretty big animals. They're not going to freeze to death, but you're covered in frost. That's probably not the best experience for cows to be half frosted out in the fields there. But coming back to it, it's not the coldest winter ever. So we're taking a look at the June anomaly temperatures here in Australia. Almost the entire continent was either even with no change or colder than normal. The only space that you see is the yellow, where it was above normal at all for this entire winter so far. Forecasters were calling mild to above normal temperatures to pervade through the winter. This is the June numbers. Remember, Southern Hemisphere, the winter starts June, July, August. Coldest somewhere around July, August. Also accompanying this event here, current snowstorm in Australia claimed to be the biggest in 18 years, which officially has opened every single ski resort. 6 days of full snow. They're even branding it Japan-like conditions. And you have to realize, up in Japan, I mean, they get some of the deepest snow in their ski resorts on the planet. But take us back in the time machine of global warming, telling us in front page news headlines that these ski resorts would close, that they should just sell them. There'll be no more snow. That was circa 2012, 13, and 14. Now, look how much snow is back. Must be cyclical. Or at least another driver, because CO2 is not doing it. Remember, the snow was supposed to disappear. Our children would never know what snow was, according to Al Gore. Now, just how cold can it get in Australia? This was the forecast, came out back in May to tell you it was going to be at least an average, maybe even mild, maybe even 80% chance above normal temperatures on the minimums. And I know some of you are going to come right out and say, no, they mean 80% chance that it was going to be below normal on the minimum temperatures. That's why it's red at the bottom. I'm going to say, au contraire, mon frère. I linked everything below in the description box, and you go watch these videos and you see how they present the information. They're saying whatever it's in that red or rose color, that is a percentage chance of being above normal temperatures. Although they did a really good job in Northern Australia up around Cairns, showing that it would be below normal temperatures, which it actually has been. That frost line extended up into the dark olive green, 1,500 miles south of the equator. If you head north off the point there, you come right to Papua New Guinea. So let's take a look. How on the money were they with their forecast? This is the second round here of extreme frosts on the East Coast, where they were showing you 80% chance above normal minimum temperatures. Severe frost, no less. Piers Corbin, Weather Action Now, one of the best forecasters on our planet, talking about the sun affecting our jet streams on the planet and driving our weather. If you want to learn more about the grand solar minimum and how it's going to affect our crops and weather patterns, you want to see Piers Corbin's work, weatheractionnow.com. East coast of Australia suffering through the icy weekend, frosty temperatures. So let me wide that out, and I want you to take a look at this. Anywhere you see that teal blue, the lighter blue, or even going out into the whitish kind of blue, that's all below freezing. But to bring you a glimpse of beauty from this, the sunrise through the cold and icy fog mist mix, if you will, incredible. And to round it out here, suddenly I am getting these global warming articles from Wikipedia posted below my videos. I don't know where these are coming from. It's the first time I've seen it. And if you go in to try to edit the Wikipedia global warming article, you won't be able to edit it. It is so closely guarded. They must have multiple monitors in there, and anytime an entry comes up, that it's flagged right away to hold before it goes live. You cannot edit that. It's supposed to be available for anybody on the planet to edit it. It's supposed to be the world's online encyclopedia, isn't it? Where anybody can edit and add information. Well, not with global warming. It's only strictly CO2 on this page board. But anyway, if you want to get more analysis, I have a tri-weekly podcast, Mini Ice Age Conversations. Anywhere podcasts are hosted across the net. And if you like this type of content in the videos, make sure you subscribe, click that bell to get the latest updates. If you want it more in a blog roll, kind of a post format, you can get the text and images, steemit.com/adapt2030, or take a look through Twitter and Facebook, where I'm putting every single link that I do through my research up into those two feeds.